Welcome to Echoes of Home. I'm Kelly, and today I have Jamil here with me.
Hello.
A dear friend of mine. Jamil and I really dreamed up this podcast while we were in Thailand. Funny story. And we started filming our conversations without any research or training or experience.
Had life experience.
It wasn't planned. It was very informal, and we didn't have mics, which I'm still learning all the technological things about having a podcast. Anyway, so Jamil and I have a unique shared life experience that bonds us. And today the topic or the title is Life After Death. So our similar experience is that both of us have spouses that committed suicide. Yeah. And we met through that shared, I keep wanting to say interest, and that's weird. That shared experience. And our relationship has become much more than talking about grief, which we often do. So thanks for coming on today, Jamil.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you. So one of the things we decided to talk about today, which was your idea, is this experience of life, what it feels like after having such a traumatic experience, and how it leaves this, maybe it's a desire, or maybe it's just that it doesn't feel normal, mundane life doesn't feel quite fulfilling. No. Or it does something to you.
It does.
You want to tell me what you feel like it does to you? Because this was your topic idea.
Yeah, it's for those who may be watching and or listening who have been through this or currently going through it. You understand the depth of the trauma and the depth of the grief and the spaces and places that it takes you to internally, emotionally, internal and external, from the isolation to all just the internal turmoil of dealing with the loss of a spouse in that way. And after experiencing all of that, the value of life, that definition changes.
Yeah.
And what you take on and how your lens is forever different. So, for me, everyday life, what most people, how they move through life, they're at zero, still has very little interest to me. It's like, so what is that, so how do you come away with this heightened yearning to want to experience like life itself, because you feel like you've touched the everything in the grief. So on the other side of that, settling back into going to Aldi's just doesn't seem like that there's no fulfillment in that. So it's almost as if you're chasing a high, so to speak, or just to get that maximum fulfillment of life and experience it in the fullest, because you realize just how fragile, how finite life can be. So there is no more room for fluff, I think.
Yeah. I mean, my experience is similar in that while as the years have passed, it's been 5 years since Frank committed suicide, I have settled a little more into what some would consider aspects of normal, quote unquote, normal life. But there is still an approach to life that I have, that I just, as a whole, as I cannot live in the mundane. It's one of these things where the lightest light brings us, well, the darkest dark brings us the lightest light. And so when you go through something this significant from a trauma standpoint, and a grief, deep grief and despair, it teaches you exactly what you said. It teaches you what's important, what you value, how you want to spend your time and energy, and what is bullshit. Something as simple as small talk with people, that's really hard for me. These networking events and all these things that I do, talking about the fucking weather and basic stuff, like there's almost a disdain.
Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable because it's like I'm interacting with beings who aren't awake. So it's almost like you could venture to say that going through something like this creates some sort of awakening.
Definitely does that.
And I had some level of awakening, but I had no idea how much more awake I could become until I went through this.
Yeah.
So, to your experience and what happened with Emily, how did the world respond to you when you were responding to that? And how has that impacted you now?
Who knows how to respond to, I don't think most people know how to respond adequately to death in general. I would say that of friends that I had, the majority of them immediately tucked away into the shadows.
Yeah.
For those who came forward initially, they stood because they didn't know what else to do, and so they were there for, I think, as long as they could handle it, and that was for a very short time. And then came the real
rupture.
Yeah. The work, the hard part.
Yeah.
And, that's, I imagine that's not easy to watch someone go through. But at the same time, there was this level of even family and friends. These are the people that I had grown up with, had invested emotional time and space with, and then
it almost feels like an abandonment.
Yeah. It's in that time of need, extreme time of need, where are you?
Yeah. I felt something similar with that. I had this major influx of people from all parts of my life who showed up, and then they were gone. And then there were some people who hung around. But what's interesting to think about is when I pulled back and started doing my own grief process, it almost felt as if it was left up to me to lead a continued dialogue or interaction. Yeah. And I get it. Everyone, they're humans and they're going through their own experience, and the experience of our experience fades a little more and more, and they tap into their own reality,
right?
And that is a really painful hurt to feel. And it teaches you about other humans.
It does.
So with that experience, have you found it hard to connect with things or people that lack that depth or intention?
In short, yes.
Yeah, me too.
Because the people that ended up showing up were strangers.
Yeah.
Who
did not lack depth.
Did not lack and had the capacity to hold, and experiencing that, at that time you latch onto it because you feel like you're, sliding down this muddy slope, and you're just kind of like grasping at this wall, just trying to find, a root that's firmly attached. And when you find it, you hold on to it with everything.
Yeah.
And so you then, and so those people have, they've become family at this point. And so that the conversations were born in this state of depth. And so now that's like, oh, this is what I ate. This is what nurtured me out of that space. Now that I continue to move out of that space, this is what I need to survive. And whatever else that people are eating, it's like, it's not the same. It's like, I've tried it and I'm like, it's bland. It's not filling at all.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's to this day, 5 years in, deeply impacting my life. And as I move through the world and I grow and I heal more and more, I am constantly evaluating the relationships in my life and the ways in which I'm choosing to move through the world based off of whether or not it has this depth or it feels true within myself, my soul journey, what I'm here to do as a human being. And it is sort of a self-serving thing. Like, and that is my job. Number one is to take care of me so that I can show up in the world and heal the wounds that I came in this life with, and serve in my purpose that helps other people, and of course helping loved ones, friends, and family in their journey. So it's like it's a requirement. And I've been finding that my experience after the fact now, if I do go, like, I spend a lot of time in the country club here. I spend a lot of time in different networking circles and whatnot for work. And when I do go into those environments, I've found that I'm actually getting more anxiety before and an emotional response afterward that I've finally been able to identify. I have like multiple groups of friends and different sort of very different people in my life. And a month or so ago, I was thinking about having people over, and I was trying to decide, who do I invite? What combination of people makes the right chemistry for an event? And I found that in my mind, I was able to segment out, okay, there's like these humans, and then there's these humans. This group of humans, who I consider to be like my soul friends, like you, I do not have near the anxiety about the idea of having them over. But then there's these other humans that I really, not only do I like witness patterns that maybe may not be the healthiest thing for me to surround myself with, or make it more challenging for me to hold myself in the place I like to be at in an energetic way. I recognize that I felt much more angst, anxiety, frustration with the idea of hosting those individuals. And that was an aha moment for me. I've known that I don't like small talk and I really want depth, but I am really having to decide on a lot of relationships which ones I want to continue based off of this experience. And how much to feed them, how much to lead them. I think you've got some of that going on in your life too, right?
A bit. I guess I'm starting over.
Yeah.
From I don't really use the moniker too much or I really don't use like friends. I don't use that anymore.
Yeah.
Because I tried that.
Yeah.
And for those who made this that crossed that bridge with me, I can probably count that number on one hand, and I don't know if that hand is full. So it is a starting over. So how do you make introductions, without saying, I'm in the deep end of the pool.
Yeah.
This is where we start from.
Yeah.
And
I do feel that.
And that's a hard place for some people to start in this very vulnerable, and I've started to equate vulnerability now with strength. It's like it's not so much vulnerability; it's like showing your true self, which takes takes courage and strength to be that vulnerable. And by doing so, I think you quickly find out who can hold you, who can really support you, who is really there for the depth of you. But it takes a lot at the same time to show up in that way, and to too many people. So then it's like constantly like walking through the crowd and like feeling the crowd. I'm like, who amongst you?
Yeah. I have felt that way, especially in the early years of the experience. Is sometimes I feel like I just need to make that disclaimer. I meet a new person, which I know wouldn't handle it very well, like a regular person, quote unquote. Like, oh, by the way, you should know, my husband, I was married before, committed suicide in 2025, and here I am. Like, I feel like I don't know what that is, that I need to there's a part of me who just feels like it would be easier to start where I want to start with someone, and the potential of developing a relationship with, that banger.
Right.
And that's not typically how I show up. I can vet someone pretty quickly of whether or not they're someone who has the depth to go into the places. And then if they are, then I will share, like, yeah, this is actually something that happened in my life.
Right.
And I think that's probably the healthiest way, but it is an interesting emotional experience to feel like I need to wear sort of that disclaimer message as I move through the world. Yeah. Because it is walking through multiple worlds at once with multiple different groups of humans.
Yep. And I don't think I've got to that state where I'm moving through multiple groups and trying to trying to figure that out. I think it's been 2.5 years since losing M, and outside of like this circle, this village that has encompassed us, that we share, I think I have acknowledged like 2 people outside of that group, and that's it. And that's been as recent in the last 4 months. So, it takes, they say it does take time, and, but yeah, just again, how you approach the world after such an experience is just very different.
One of the things I find is, interesting, and I think it goes for all humans, but it may feel a little more sensitive, or maybe it's bolder in our experience with people who've gone through significant trauma, is that I do feel that my life, as I am evolving so rapidly and moving through the world with such depth, that my life and the figures in my life, not just humans, but the whether it's what I do for work, how I spend my time, what I do with my time, that is evolving rapidly. So my life, I feel, since has been rewritten in every form, other than this 12-year-old dog here, at least 3 times in the last 5 years. And not when it's not expected. And it is very much a process of surrender to these things that show up in our life that aren't choices that we made that impact us.
Right.
And our choice is to learn to surrender and to choose to grow and learn from it and not be taken down by the insurgents.
Oh,
the insurgents
insurgents
of surrender.
That's good. The insurgents of surrender. Yeah, I think there's also this notion, once you've gone through something like this, that somehow we're broken. And so people are afraid to bring up a conversation or bring up, what you went through, because we may not, we that have gone through it may not be able to handle the conversation.
Is it that, or it's that they can't handle the conversation?
That's the truth of it.
Yeah.
But it's presented as, well, I don't want to upset you.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to. And in reality,
I'm having to deal with this all the time.
Right.
Please, let's talk about it. It would help us.
Right.
Yeah.
And and then when you call them on it, it's like, well, let's have the conversation. You see immediately, just in their whole being, retreat.
Yeah. So then that is that experience of feeling like beings are hiding from you because the idea of what happened to you, quote unquote, is too uncomfortable for them to even imagine, because maybe if they get too close, something like that could happen to them.
Right.
Yeah.
But you used the word a few minutes ago, evolution. I think that's what this experience does.
Oh, yeah.
Causes you like that rapid evolution. So you
talk about karma, moving through karma.
Yeah. You end up skipping over people.
Yeah.
And I've learned at this point that I'm okay with that. If going through that experience, it's like, greatest love, greatest teacher. And so it's like moving all those pieces out of the way in order to introduce new pieces that can fulfill in that new evolutionary state.
So for me, what I hear as I'm listening to you reflect on that experience is like that you're getting or have gotten to this place which I think is the marker of the greatest evolution that we have when we go through something like this, is that we start to see them as teachers, start to see them as guides, and see this traumatic experience as a gift in a lot of ways, although it's one of the most painful things we experience. But it also has transcended and continues to transcend transform our experience as humans.
Yeah.
And that is like the ninja-ism and the Buddha-ism of it.
I can't imagine you not being in my life. The village that has come around, I can't imagine them not being in my life. So without this experience, all these beautiful relationships that have come about, what I consider, the way that I term it is like significant relationships. I shudder to think where I would be without
Yeah.
them. And so to be on this end of it and, start to, you know, yeah.
And you have to give yourself some credit for carrying yourself through this. Can you do that?
I don't know if I can. Because at times I don't know if it was, I didn't know who I was. So I don't know, it's like what version of that was getting me there. I guess there was some version of me.
Yeah. But
Pulling
you
me
had
through.
control over yourself and have carried yourself through this.
That's
And all of the other people have been helpful.
this is true.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's a what's the word that starts with an R? Reluctant
Yeah.
admission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what practices, beliefs, or creative outlets have helped you stay connected to something larger or deeper? I know your answer to this, but I want to hear it. The way you say it.
The way that I say it. How do I say
It's
it?
somewhat of a shared experience, another shared experience that we have.
It is. Connecting to the spirit world
Yeah.
in a very real, very dynamic way.
Yeah.
And whether I'm, say connected, but maybe the spirit world is connecting with us.
Well, yeah. Where it's like source consciousness.
Yeah, we're more open to it now, perhaps because of, that experience.
Because of the awakening.
The awakening, which you said earlier, yes.
Yeah.
Having that ability changes everything. It's like you look around and, once you can experience the beauty of this world, it's like looking out at the mountains and the sun and the light coming through the trees, the shapes of the clouds, the shades of blues and grays and greens. But then, you get into sort of the humanness of the world, but it's like if you get caught in that, in the belief that this is all that there is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to sense and understand that there is more beyond this
what is like tangible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what you're alluding to, well, in one word and one definition, is there's some of the shamanic traditions that we've been walking in a little bit, you much more than me, which do connect us to the spirit world. There are other ways that we can connect to the spirit world. And I think that having an experience like this, like you said, really does. It transforms our experience and our perspective as human beings on this planet and what all of these other energies are around us. It allows us to see in a bigger scope of reality. And, when you go through something like that at the beginning, you very much, I don't know about you, but for me, I, would do things like I'd seen in the movies, like send me a sign and like flicker a light, make something fall. And I'm like, I need to visualize him. He's like gonna walk through and I'm gonna have a conversation with him. And it's just like, he's gonna be here. And what I've learned is there's much more nuance in these traditions that exist. It's not just shamanic traditions there, but it is these spiritual traditions that are all around the world. You start to see, as you study them, the similarities between around where it lies, where these things lie, and what they feel like, how to sense them. And it isn't what we've, been taught.
Right. It's not the movie Ghost.
Yeah. As much as I still desire that to some degree.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, Frank, what's up? Oh, just chilling. Hey, have you met Jamil?
I've been watching him the whole time.
You want to have a drink? Like, let's sit down for a moment. It's not like that.
Yeah.
So, with the shamanic practices that you've been diving in, how has that helped you specifically with this journey of life after? And maybe we should tell a little bit about what that means to you when I say the words like shamanic practices, traditions, realms, because it is hard to have a literal term for it.
It is. I think maybe that's why I gave the definition of shamanic as opposed to using the word, because I don't know exactly how to.
It's ethereal.
How to encapsulate it, but it's
like another wavelength.
It is.
We're here on this tangible plane, but there is things outside, layers outside of us that if we attune, we can feel into.
Yeah, and I think everyone has the ability to tap in.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
That's just not how this culture here in the U.S. That's just not how majority how it operates anymore. But it used to be that way.
Yeah.
It was there, but then
cultures across the world,
right? And some, just heavily connected. Religion.
Connected to what?
To what? Right.
To source consciousness, source energy, to the spirit realm.
You're asking me?
Yeah. From your perspective.
I don't think you can step into like the spirit realm without also touching the everything.
Yeah, the source.
The source.
What I would call source consciousness.
I've had experiences with both. It's like the spirit realm is here, and like the source is like a little bit higher than that. Mm-hmm. That's a wild ride, the source.
Yeah. So yeah. Do you see colors when you go there at all? I do. But I'm visual, and everyone's a little different.
Mm-hmm. I didn't necessarily see. Maybe I did see color. I felt it more than I saw.
Yeah.
I saw some things, but it felt like a river, like a raging river. I did see of light. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just the feeling of, it's like, you're on this raft, or you're just moving with it, and you're just trying to hang on, and you're having all these flashes and these experiences, and you're seeing, and then at some point, you're just in a room, the room that you were always in.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, now what?
Yeah.
Do I go to the refrigerator and
exactly
get a piece of cheese?
And that's it right there. That's the depth. Yeah. Like once you go into these places, whether it's through meditation or through working with a shaman, or in my case, where I'm going there a lot lately, is through this somatic therapy with a practitioner, Naima Pierce. I've talked about her before. I'll try to remember to tag her in the content, the copy of this description. She's also just very energetically attuned, and we just go in together, and then we move through. It starts in my physical body. I think I talked to you a little bit about this.
No.
We'll start with some place. We'll move through my human anxieties, fears, whatever it is, feelings, and then we start to like come out, whatever it is, with some sort of compassion or understanding, which then ultimately comes into having that for myself and honoring myself in that way. As an artist, would you call yourself I'm calling myself an artist again. Okay. Jamil and I are also, to tell everyone, we're creatives. We have a common experience of being a creative. Jamil is very talented. I don't know what he wants to describe himself as, but he is very talented, creative.
Yeah, creative. That's it.
So how have you felt through this experience it's impacted your creative outlets?
It shut them down. Just kind of going into observation mode, I would say,
But you were doing some things. Like those photos you were taking of yourself. He was taking a photo of himself like every day through the first year. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I didn't take that many, but I did. Thank you for that reminder.
You have done some creative things.
I have.
And you've been thinking about some art pieces.
Some other things, yes. But thank you for that mirror, because one of the things is memory loss for myself.
Yeah.
There are some things I just don't remember.
Me too.
So conversations, moments. So yeah, it takes you reminding. It's like, oh yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I do remember.
You have been thinking and imagining. It's just maybe not as tangible with your hands.
Yeah.
And I think I had a similar experience, for sure. But I'm slowly reopening those creative outlets, and that feels like a really great way to move energy.
Do you find that those you're creating in the same way?
No, I think my creativity has gone through the fucking roof. And do you mean literal? Are you asking me that literally?
However you wish to take that. It's just a question.
I don't even remember what my creative experience was before.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was just like adding on new ways. And I feel like I have this much more like big, expansive, creative journey and flow that comes through. Mm-hmm. Sure, it comes in creating spaces and cultivating that, but now it's just like, it's transcending into this. This is a part of my creativity, the podcast, like this lifestyle element of my brand. The other day I've got a canvas out. I don't know, haven't painted in 20 years. I started just moving some energy and slapping things on the canvas, and that,
nice.
Is a deeply connected way to move energy.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about throwing paint, dirt, mud, whatever on canvas, and just see what happens.
Yeah.
And just being okay with whatever shows up.
Yeah, that's the challenge.
Not trying to control it.
Yeah.
Just letting it be in its raw expression of whatever it is. So yeah, I think I'm in a physical space that allows for that room. So, I'm trying to, in my physical body, step forward and do that work.
Yeah.
Because, I know that if I get back into that space, it won't be anything like I was doing before.
Is it possible to venture to say that, and I'm just wondering here, that because what I hear you sharing is similar to how I feel in my creative journey, and I have found, even say with this podcast as an example, that I'm trying to let go of my perfectionism in my creativity more than ever. And a lot of times that's, especially with a canvas, what gets in has prevented me from getting a canvas, because I feel in the past as an artist, my pieces that turned out really good, they had a really clean idea. I had really clean like preparation and organization, and then I went for it. It was not through moving energy that I got to it. So it's like it is changing my creative process in that way, where it feels, which was inspired by, shout out to my dear friends Hot Yogi and Holy Shit Is, which you are going to come with me to their place sometime soon.
Okay.
There are some people in our yoga community who are changing lives in all sorts of ways and inspiring creativity and connection to people's spiritual practice. So I went to one of their sort of drop-in art experiences, maybe is a better word. And they have a canvas and there's music playing and everyone comes in and like puts input on the canvas and you just like go. There's no plan and he's not controlling it, Ben, at all. He is just letting it unfold. And anytime I tried that by myself back in the day, it's like, this is fucking stupid. Like, what is this? But it was really cool to witness the layers of how the piece transformed. So I've been playing with that a little bit in my own journey. And that's been hot. That is like a recovering perfectionism, control, something or another to unlock. So I would be curious to see how that unfolds for you and if it's similar.
Probably. I'd imagine. Yeah. I think we've talked about
We're like
that.
recovering type A's.
Yeah, especially from that design sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we've talked about that in Thailand, so I won't delve into that here today.
What's one thing that you're currently craving or trying to feel more of?
It's a good question. Well, let's go to you, Kelly. What is it may take, I have to sit with that.
One thing that you're currently craving or trying to feel more of. Generally what we're talking about, this like deep fulfillment in life. I am craving that. I'm craving it's not necessarily like the expansion, but I crave connection, and self-love in a way that I'm still learning how to do in the way that I deserve, and wonder. I have a 2.5-year-old childlike wonder. It's important as we move through our humanness, our culture, society, hard things, trauma, to also take a step back, pause, and witness this crazy fucking, what feels like an experiment that we're in our universe. And continue tapping into the wonder of it all.
I like that. Yeah, I would echo the wanting connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wonder, these life affirmative experiences. I think that's what that's what I'm craving.
What does life affirming mean to you?
Buying a sailboat and sailing around the world.
You're damn right.
Thailand.
Ninja training.
Yeah, just doing the things that none of them are individualized. It's one that they're all connected by the same string.
Yeah.
And they're all sort of continuing to build on this wave of energy that you don't know what you're preparing for, you don't know what you're going towards, but you know that it's beyond your current situation, on a higher level.
Yeah, it's like soul journeying and education that is preparing you in this lifetime or in other lifetimes to yeah, it is like a surrender to whatever the soul has called in for this lifetime and the journey and the contract that it has placed in this life and what that means for future lives and signing up to like get on that roller coaster.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
some of that, energetic work, the healing components of it, not just of our physical bodies, but, the way what I've been taught is that, you can go in and do healing that will heal 7 generations.
Oh, yeah.
Behind you, past, and also plant the seed to heal 7 generations ahead of you.
Because it is linked for sure.
Yeah. So that's the, so those life affirmative things, that's how I define it. I'm not looking for retirement. And that's my, my goal is to have X amount at retirement. It's like, that has.
Well, I'm looking to live life like a retirement.
Yeah, I tell people I'm retired now. They're like, well, what do you do for a living? I'm like, well, I breathe.
Yeah, I've been playing. It's funny because I've been having the same conversations with myself. I think I just wrote a blog post about it, and it might be a small post posted on my Instagram as well. About, oh yeah, did you see this? I wrote this post about please don't call me a designer.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
And it came from this experience of moving through these worlds, and people ask that small talk question, what do you do? But one is that I'm tired of being introduced as a designer because then it means all these things, and then I get this energetic reaction from people, and I know you know what that means. And then the other is I just want to say something crazy like this or that, this and that, or like I own a dry cleaner, because what I do is not a one-word thing.
Right.
And how I move through it's not normal, and nobody can really even understand it. And I don't fucking feel like describing it to someone who I know it's not going to land with.
Right.
So
what is your response when you're in that situation?
I haven't mastered it. It depends on who am I talking to, a regular old person?
Regular old person. What is...
I'm like, well, it's funny. I've been getting asked that question a lot, and this is what I say. Like, I think I'm just going to start saying this or that because what I do doesn't really fit into a box.
Right.
I'm a little bit of a real estate investor, a property manager, a contractor, a designer, and I don't really work for clients anymore. I just sort of do my own thing.
Oh, I know what you are. You're a entrepreneur.
I hate that word too. Like even just doing the bio on my Instagram, like, okay, if you could describe your relationship with life right now, what would it be with one word? Sorry.
Discovery.
Adventure? Discovery.
Discovery. For me, discovery.
Yeah.
Adventure for you?
No, I don't. What's my answer? I feel my relationship with life right now is about purpose.
Okay.
And the only way I can move through my purpose with my relationship with my life right now is through surrender. And it's like opening to the flow and allowing it.
How is the relationship with surrender?
How is it?
Yeah.
I'm learning it. It's getting better. It's getting easier. But it is, I think the hardest part about surrender for me is in the day to day, in the doing, and the striving and the pursuing, like the type A-isms. I have a hard time linking those two up together, how to navigate the world with both of those in existence together. Does that make sense?
It does.
So, to close us today, I want to thank you for coming and taking some time, and I'm excited to have you on for more episodes if you'll join us.
Let me know. I'll be here.
And, is there any message that you have for people who know someone or people who have gone through something as traumatic as what we've experienced? Like something they should know about those people in their lives, or how to show up, or...
There is no right way. It's just show the fuck up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as you said that. Show up.
Just show up.
Like lead it.
Just be there. You're not required, nor is it necessary or wanted for you to provide any sort of solution.
Yeah. Or to know what to say.
Or know what to say. But just showing up,
And do you have to be invited?
I think it depends on where people are in their journey. If they are just beginning, they don't have the capacity to ask. So just being there is, I think, is essential, and they won't forget it. They'll remember it at some point. But for the person that's there, in that support role, there is growth there too. And I ask people to be, early on, it's like, well, what do you need? Like there was like some tangible, can I bring you, a plate of food? It's like, it's like, I need you to be my eyes. I need you to be my ears. I need you to be able to hold the mirror up. Because I don't know what's going to happen, but I know at some point I'm not going to be able to see where I'm going. I'm not going to be able to hear what's going on around me. I'm not going to be able to remember this part of it. So for those of you who show up, that's what I ask, and to be that mirror, because at some point I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask you from where you stood, what did you see?
Yeah.
And what I need you to do at that point, they'll ask us like pure unadulterated honesty.
Yeah.
Give me what you saw. But then it takes that person having that strength to then give you that honest reflection. And so to your question, I was like, when people, just showing up and knowing that you're not going to know what to do, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you're just on the outside. The person who's going through it, it's a whole other different thing.
Yeah.
So your presence means everything when someone can't put anything into words. What is help? What is help?
Presence. Yeah.
And not the kind under the Christmas tree.
I love that. Life after death is still life, and it deserves to be lived fully, strangely, and with reverence.
Well, do you have anything to
tell those people?
Yeah.
I think I was going a similar place. It's like, and I think it's something to think about even outside of major traumatic experiences, and something we're missing as a collective is like, show up. I mean, there are times now even, not in the depths of grief, doesn't mean I don't go there, but that I just want, it would be easier sometimes if my community members would just show up. And I understand the cultural and our societal nuances of how we arrange and make plans, but there is value there in showing up for someone in that literal way and leading the showing up and not waiting for someone to ask you to show up and just like tapping into your intuition and knowing. I know I desire that more in my life, and I'm not saying I know exactly how to do that in all of the circumstances in my life, and I would like to learn how to do that more for other people too.
Yeah, it's like, you think about doing it, and there's like there's then that other voice is like, well, maybe I shouldn't. I don't want to be a bother, blah blah blah. But it's pushing beyond that voice, because your first instinct, it's like, yeah, we should do this.
Are they a hide a dead body friend? Then I think you can show up at their house unannounced. And who are your hide a dead body friends? Like, if it really came down to it, which of even my friends I don't even feel that close to, do I know that I could be like, hey, I got a dead body. I need help. And there's a few that know and be like, okay, like, we're going to figure this out.
Right.
And those are the friends I feel like we can just show up when they know they need something.
Yeah, because you're not expected to show up in a particular way. Truly show up as you are, moving through whatever you're moving through, however you look as you're moving through it.
Yeah, I like that. I think as a culture, we generally, we like invite people over and we make the house perfect and we put on our masks and our things and we show up in this way, and we've gotten a lot out of this culture of just like showing up at one another's houses unannounced. And that is, I think, really how you build true intimacy, because you really get to know the everyday life, the everyday appearances, whatever that is, and it's more casual, and it's not like the presentation energy.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
That's a wrap.
See you next time.
Bye.
Doodly-doo, doodly-doo.